Lloyd Russell-Moyle, thanks for joining us today first.
No problem. Good to see you again.
Thank you. So the new report coming up from the APPG, could you please give us little information about what's the most important points of the report as well?
Well, we've been on an interesting visit again to northeastern Syria, particularly to look at the current situation and to talk about it in Parliament. We had a parliamentary debate that we held, which will be the basis of our report, and there we were particularly concerned on a number of things. We were concerned about how a supposed British ally, Turkey, is continuing to bomb. I'm concerned that Britain needed to be more forceful to ensure that the Kurdish Autonomous Region was represented in the negotiations ongoing, and finally that there needs to be some clearer solutions to both internally displaced and foreign fighters who are currently held in camps, and the British government is being lackadaisical, to say the least, about ensuring that justice is prevailed. One of the things that hit both myself and the Conservative Member of Parliament who attended this trip was that the local authorities are asking for local justice that's backed by international agreement, and that's what we must try and further.
What would be the solution, the best solution, peaceful and democratic solution for the Syria, your suggestion?
Well, my view has always been that Syria and its borders will prevail, that like it or not, that Assad and the Ba'athist regime have been successful in holding on, and a peace now needs to be brokered along the lines you have at the moment for autonomy and autonomous regions within Syria. A form of devolution, we are quite used to that in Britain, or a form of federalisation, quite used to that in other European countries, where the autonomous region and some of the other regions are given full autonomy in their domestic affairs. If that can be agreed, then it will have not all been in vain, and the Kurds will come out with greater rights than they went in on.
What is the position of Turkey in all these comments that you make? Also, I would like you to underline that as well. It's important, shortly.
Well, I spoke in Parliament about the fact that Turkey is really against a peaceful solution in northeastern Syria, or in Syria as a whole, and they have been continuing to push jihadis into Syria to fight as proxies for them. It's a very dangerous situation. They are fighting and attacking other British allies in the in American and British personnel that are there. So they are forming a dangerous alliance there because of their hatred often to the Kurds. And Turkey has taken a dislike to us, keep saying this, to such an extent that I understand that the Turkish embassy had a file on me and were trying to pass bits of information on to the leader of the opposition and to the speaker. And the speaker reported that the Turkish embassy wrote to him to try and get me kicked out. Now, the speaker wrote back saying that's not happening, but the Turkish embassy needs to stop its meddling in British politics and threatening British MPs like they have been and trying to undermine them, and instead it should play a proactive role in understanding that the political situation in Turkey is not settled, and let's all hope and pray that this election coming up will change the dial in Turkey. And I was in Turkey a few weeks ago, and I'm hopeful, but I'm always sceptical at the same time that we will achieve some success of an alliance against AKP.
Thank you. You came to the very important point. The elections are coming on the 14th May. So how do you evaluate the current AKP government, AKP and Erdogan government practice? How do you see this last 20 years in Turkey, in the democracy basis, in the human rights basis? So very shortly, how do you evaluate it?
Well, it's been very interesting, and on our trip to Turkey, most people, even Kurdish people, HDP, would say that the first 10 years of the Erdogan government were not that bad. In fact, he was a moderniser. He entered negotiations for peace with Kurdish people more than often had happened in the past. But 10 years and then it went wrong. It went wrong for a number of reasons. The HDP had a good election result, you had the Gulenist coup, and you had a number of other kind of political issues that forced Erdogan into the hands of the MHP, the ultra-nationalists. As we all know, he has then become an ultra-nationalist and almost a neo-Ottomanist himself, and has clamped down on freedom of speech. And we see now in this election them trying to shut down the HDP having to stand as the Green Left Party, and their activists having huge numbers of arrests over the last 2 weeks, where people have been intimidating and arrested in tens of numbers, people arrested of activists and senior lawyers, all locked up and intimidated by the regime to try and make sure they don't win. I hope that the people of Turkey will see the light and will ensure that they vote, and they vote for the progressive parties, whether it be the Green Left Alliance list or whether it be the CHP Alliance list. Either one of them together, we can win.
We and our audience very well knows you as well, that you supporting Kurds and you are one of the friends of Kurds. So in this election, what is your message? What is your solidarity message with the Green Left Party? Very shortly.
Well, the intimidation that you're facing in the Green Left Party is outrageous, and it should not be happening. And I will continue to raise these points in Parliament and with the ambassador here to ask why that kind of behaviour is acceptable. And secondly, I wish you all the best of luck. The future of Turkey is in your hands, and I know that you will prevail, if not this time, eventually, because they don't call it a struggle for nothing. It is a struggle, and it will achieve peaceful and democratic aims if you keep on.
MP Lloyd Russell-Moyle, thanks for joining us. Thank you for your valuable comments.
Thank you very much.